Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Amud Yomi Shiur. We are in Maseches Kiddushin, Daf Ches Amud Beis, and today we're going to see a lot of interesting cases regarding the response of a woman to Kiddushin. We all know that sometimes, men may approach women to court them, woo them. Sometimes the reaction, the response is positive. Sometimes it's very negative. This shiur is for shiur. This shiur is Leilu Nishma Sovi Moire Menachem Ben Akiva Rus Bas Shalom Sar Bas Moshe Aviva Bas Moshe Ulofuas Pninacha Bas Gula Rochel. To the Hatzlacha for so many soldiers, the names, there's a long list, and all of them should be successful, become victorious, with Mashiach should come even before they have to do anything. The refuah of all the wounded soldiers, and obviously the Hatzal of all the captured people, which are breaking our hearts. Hashem should bring them home very, very, very soon. Weiter. Tono Obono. Iskachili b'moneh. A man approached a woman and asked her, he told her, Iskachili b'moneh. Be miskadish to me, be my wife with this money. Money is a lot of money. Imagine yourself a wad of cash, a bag full of nice coins. Money is 100 zuz. What did she do? What was her response? Netaltoi v'zraktoi layam. Yes, yes, yes. She took it and she threw it to the sea, the money, or to the fire, or to anything that gets lost, that makes it gets lost. In other words, she told him, get lost, by throwing it, not in his face, throwing it to a place where it will never return alive, this money. So then we say, Eina Mekudeshes, that's some kind of no. That's a very big no to his romantic suggestion of Arat Mekudeshes Li. Okay. The Gemara, this is very nice as a brisa, but the question is, Hash detinu kamei havu kiddushin. Let's say she didn't throw it so dramatically to the fire or to the water. Let's say she would have thrown it in front of him. Let's say she threw it back in his face. No, I don't. Throwing it. Then would that be better? Shakil loy ba'ina. What she's telling him non-verbally, actions speak louder than words. She's telling him non-verbally, Shakil, take it. I don't want you. I don't want. So why does the brisa tell me that only if she throws it to the fire or to the river or to somewhere where it gets lost, only then she's not Mekudeshes? Even if she threw it back in his face, she's also not Mekudeshes. So why is the brisa misleading us? Answers the Gemara, Lamibai Ko'omo. Yeah, the brisa is not exclusive, it's inclusive. Lamibai means needless to say. It means of course, if she threw it in his face, back in his face, take back your silly money of Kiddushin, then of course it's not Kiddushin. That shows clear refusal that she is telling him, get lost. Aval, however, think, when she threw it to the water or to the sea, to the ocean, or to the fire, yeah, wait a second. Can we all stop for a second, park on the side and think, if this is his money that she's not accepting as Kiddushin or as a gift or anything, and she throws it to the fire, he'll come back to her and say, lady, come with me to BSD. The romance is over. You threw my money to the fire. So now, wait a second, she owes him money. Ema, one would claim and say, let's continue, because she knows that if she's going to throw it to the fire, that's a lot of money. Yeah, that's 100 zuz. If she throws that to the fire, to the water, she'll have to pay it back to him. She'll have to reimburse him. If so, kiddushi kaddish nafsha. Maybe she is miskadish. In other words, she's not willing to lose so much money just in order to play the drama queen. Yeah, in other words, maybe the fact that she owes money means she's taking it as kiddushin and then throwing it to the fire, but she wants to be his wife because she's not willing to take such a loss. If so, the obvious question is, how are you starting your marriage, lady? If she's willing to take the money and not lose, and she's saying yes, why is she throwing it to the fire? You know why she behaves that way? Why she's being such a shrew? Why is she doing that? Stavra, she thinks, I want to test this guy, if he's an angry person or not. I want to check if he has anger issues or not. I really want to be miskadish to him, but I'm throwing it to the fire to see if he's an angry guy, how he'll react. She's testing his reactions. Maybe a counselor told her to do that. That would be a Havamina. All that is one big Havamina bubble. KML, Kamash Malon. Kamash Malon, what? Says the Bryson Ishtazoi. If she throws it to the fire, she throws it to the fire. If she throws it to the fire, means she's not interested in being his wife. She's being dramatic and she's willing to take the loss. We assume she's willing to take the loss. She knows that she's so angry for him for, excuse my language, starting with her like that, and she's not interested. She throws into the fire because she wants to show very clearly she doesn't want to be his wife. Will she have to pay? Yes, that's a separate cheshbon. She's probably, maybe she didn't think, or maybe she did think she'll have to pay. That's an under Maisa. We quickly and easily move from Even Ezer to Choshen Mishpat. But Lamaisa, thrown to the fire, it could have been interpreted differently. We don't interpret it that way, and definitely she's not Mekudeshes, and this is a case of throwing to the fire. And Kol Shekain, if she throws it back in his face, it's even more so, because then there are no halachic obligations mitzad her side. So why did she throw it? Only in order to show I am not interested. It's one big get lost. That's case number one. We're going to have a lot of very, very interesting cases of female psychology. Female psychology in Judaism, is that a good YouTube? Never understand this. Right there. Right. Tono abonon. Is kadshili be-moneh. Here's another story. By the way, these are not stories that happen. The styles of the Gemara is not hahu gavra hahu itza that really happen. These are theoretical cases that may or may not happen. These are not recorded cases. These are legal theoretical cases. Tono abonon, his kadshili be-moneh. Again, a man told a woman, be miskadish to me with 1 moneh, that's 100. And her response was, Tnam le'aba ule'avicha. She said, give it to your father, to my father, or give them to your father. The assumption is she's not Mikudeshes. In other words, we interpret her words as just give them to someone else. That money, give it to my father, give it to your father, don't give it to me. That's kind of elegant or sarcastic way to say no. Now, all the Rishonim ask one question: why isn't she Mikudeshes? Remember, we saw in Daf Vavun base in the bottom, Daf Zayin, we saw that if a woman tells a man, yeah, give the money to another guy, I'll be miskadish to you. That does work. If she says to Reuven, give the money to Shimon, I'll be your wife. If you're so nice to my poor cousin Shimon, yeah, and then I'll be your wife. She's mekudeshes like a guarantor. What's the difference? So you see that sometimes giving another person is not a sarcastic comment. It's something that you want out of her volition. That's okay. You're on the right direction. Other Rishonim say more or less the same. Over here, he asked her, "Will you marry me? Here's your kiddushin," and she responded, "Give them to someone else." There, she initiated it. There, she said, "Give the kiddushin." As they were talking about the wedding arrangement, the kiddushin arrangement, she initiated, and she said, "You can look in Daf Zayin Dalf on the top of the page," and she said, "Give the tabas, give the money to Shimon, to my male, I don't know, brother, friend, whatever, something, cousin, and then I'll be your wife." Yeah. That's different because she initiates it. And she obviously said, I'll be your wife if you give it to the other guy. Then, of course, she's his wife. She wants it. Here, as a response to his suggestion, to his offer, instead of saying, yeah, give them to me, she says, give them to the other direction. We interpret her words as, I'm not interested, give them to someone else, get out of my sight. However, first wide line, chesed with beis kiddushin, al menat shikablum li mikudeshes. If she said, give them to your father, to my father, or your father, in order that they should accept it for me. In other words, she's appointing them like shlichim. I rely on them to be my yad l'shlichus. She's above 12 and a half. Yeah, obviously. She's 20. I don't know. She's 13. Yeah, she accepts the kiddushin through them. Then she's mekudeshes mishlichus. Now, the question that the Gemara has, why do we have to mention both her father and his father, which may or may not be a future father-in-law? Depends on the case. Zok the Gemara. Tana Abba Lodiacha Koch the Reisha. The Brisa says, mention my father, meaning the girl's father, to tell you Koyach the Reisha, to tell you to what extent the halacha of the Reisha applies, which means if a girl says, give it to my father, right? Yeah, because one would say, give them to my father, means not give it somewhere else, give it to my father. My father means that I'm interested in that. I'm interested in, yeah, my father getting it, and he's my buddy. I want my father to receive it. He's on my side. He's on my party. Him receiving it denotes, yeah, I'm interested. I'm giving it to him b'matono. I'm giving it to him as a gift. Kamash Malan, we don't say that. Although he's her own father and she loves him, probably, since he's not her herself, this is a rejection, not another way of, give it to somebody else and I'm getting it and then giving to him as a gift. Tana avicha lo koch the seifa. Oh, now the avicha, when we mention the man's father, to tell me the seifa. What did the seifa say? Shlichus. If she says, give them to your father, my father, and they'll be my shlichim, my messengers, my whatever people on my side to accept the kiddushin, that is to say, her father she trusts to get the kiddushin for her. The man's father is less connected to her. He may or may not be a father-in-law. We don't know. He is relatively a strange man, and therefore Havimin would be even at shlichus. It's not going to work, right? And therefore she's not interested. She said, just give it to him. And even though I said he'll accept it for me, I was joking. I didn't mean a stranger should get it for me. I don't trust him to be my shliach. Kamash malan that we do. Kamash malan that if she said give it to them and they will serve as my shlichim, then it does work. Even if the person is not super close to her, it's the man's father. It's from the other side, the other party. Now, a third case. We spoke about her father, which is very close to her. Now, the father-in-law potentially is also connected to a guy who suggested shidduchin to her kiddushin, is a little bit close to her, in the outer circle. Here comes a third case of a complete stranger. Iskachili b'moneh. A man told a woman, be miskadish to me with 100. Tnem leploini, give them to ploini. Give them to the cashier in Osharat. Give them to someone else, a strange person. Give them to someone. Ploni al moini. Tom, Dick, and Harry. Eina mekudeshes. She's not mekudeshes because she's telling him her no is a very sophisticated no. Instead of saying I don't want you, she says give them to someone else. Leave me alone. But if she said al menas shikablemi mekudeshes, if she said I want the cashier in Osharat to accept it for me, then she's mukudeshes. By the way, it can be either gender. Yeah, of course. There's a shliach or shlicha. Give them to a shliach. The same strange guy should be my shliach to accept it on my behalf. She's mukudeshes. And everyone's asking, why do you need all three cases? Two cases you explain. My father, your father. Why do you also have to mention now a strange person? The tzricha. The Bryce had to mention all three cases. Her father, her man's father, husband or not, and the stranger. Why do you need to mention all? Now we lump my father and your father together because they're closer to her than the complete stranger, I don't know, some neighbor. Had the Bryce only told me that she spoke about her father or the man's father. When she said over there clearly, I want them to accept it for me on my behalf as shlichus, as chia possibly, that's Kiddushin, the Samcha Daita Alayu, because she relies on them. She relies on them. She counts on them. She knows them. Savra, she thinks, Abdelish Lichusoi, they're going to do Meshlichus. We're talking here about a society. When a boy suggests to a girl, we assume that she knows his father. He's probably also somewhere related. He's somebody that she doesn't trust him as much as her father, as we said before. She trusts him more than a stranger. Aval Ploini Eloi. But if you're talking about a complete stranger, even though she said that cashier in Osharad, which I saw the first time in my life, and he'll be my shliach, maybe that's not even shlichus. She's completely distrusting him. She doesn't know him. So maybe only tell me the case of ploini of a stranger, and I would automatically know that he would apply by the parents-in-law. That's obviously the opposite. The other case, the first case, over there by a complete stranger, when she said, give it to Mr. Ploini, Hotzenplotz guy, I don't know who he is, that's not Kiddushin. She's not close to him, to that strange person. She's no interest in give it to him b'matono. The only way to interpret her, give it to the cashier, means leave me alone, get lost, I'm not interested, because he's not her shliach, definitely. She's not making him shliach. And all she said was, give it to him. And that's a punchline. She's not trying to give it to him b'matono. I don't know if I explained it well enough. The third option is matana is like, I'm accepting it. Oh, I'd love to be married to you. But I'm saying give it to the other person because it goes through me, who did accept Kiddushin, to him because I wanted to get the matana. A bit like we said in Daf Vov. Give it to that cashier. He doesn't make enough money. Give it to him. Kamash Malan, we don't say that because she's not so close to that strange person. Give him a ton. By the way, later we'll discuss a poor person. This is not a poor person. That's another discussion. Aval Abba v'avicha. Let's say she said, give them to your father, give them to my father. The mikara datai legabayu. She knows them. She knows her father, and she probably has something to do also with the father-in-law. She wants to have a good relationship with the future father-in-law. Ema, maybe the matana yahivtan yalayu. Maybe when she says give them to daddy or to your daddy, she's not saying get lost. She says with starry eyes, yes, I do, and give it to them because I want them to benefit. I want them to get a matana, either my father or give them a matana to your father. She wants to be a nice daughter-in-law. Sricha. That's why I went to mention all three cases. It's really easy, my good friends. Really, all cases are the same. Whether it's my father, your father, a stranger, president of the US, doesn't matter who. As if she said, give it to a third party, which is not mamish, somebody that's reliant upon her. We're going to see exceptions. These adults, the father-in-law, or the guy no ad, whoever, they're not dependent on her financially. So if she says give them to a different body, a different person, it's interpreted as GL, get lost, just in a nice way or a bit sarcastic. Give them there, just throw them to them. And if she said I'm appointing them as shluchim, give it to them so they should accept it for me across the board, even if it's a beloved father or a complete stranger or anywhere in between, right? We say that it is shlichus and she's accepting the kiddushin. And when she said they should accept it for me, she meant what she said, to accept it for me. Adkan. Next case. These are all fascinating cases, weird and wonderful cases of women, www. Weird, wonderful cases of women's responses to kiddushin. Tono abonon. Remember the Amud base. Tono abonon. Another case in the Brisa. Iskacheli b'moneh. Yeah, again, the guy is trying again and again. Bimis Kaddish to me with a money. Tnam al gabe sela. Her response was, put it on the rock. Yeah, I don't mean the drink on the rock. She means to say on the rock. Yeah, just here, there's a rock. Put it there. And it's not her rock. It's tam. She basically says, throw it on the floor. Put it on the floor. So she's not mekudeshes. We don't say she means she'll take it, she'll get it. Put it on the rock means leave me alone. The im hoyosel shalom mikudeshes is big machlokes rishonim. Says Rashi, if the rock was hers, she's mikudeshes. Why? In chotzer. Oh, that's what Rashi says. Okay, fine. She is mikudeshes. She says, put it on my rock. She owns a rock. She owns the rock of Gibraltar. Yeah, okay. Im hoyosel shalom mikudeshes. Now, okay, so far so good. By Rav Bevai. Rav Bevai is now asking a question built, yeah, upon what we just said. What happens if prior to that potential marriage, that Sela belonged to both of them? Both the guy and the girl together, they were business partners, that it evolved into something else, yeah. And now that Sela belonged to both of them, and she said, put it on the rock. Mahu, how do you, what's going on over there? Is she saying, put it on this rock because she has part in it, and she wants, or he also has part in it? So maybe she's not really taking it out of him and into hers. It's ad kinin chotzer, teiku. Oh, teiku, first teiku out of many here. In other words, when the seller belongs to both of them, then it's a question whether she is saying, yes, put it on my seller, because it's also hers. It's a big seller, it belongs to both of them, right? At least 2 ames big or 4 ames, yeah, each one has 2 ames. And really, maybe not. It's also his seller, not exclusively hers. So maybe the kin and chotzer is not so good. I don't have to read the entire Tosfos inside. To cut let's see a little bit of the last Tosfos. Yeah. Last Tosfos on the page, right? We're trying to do some Tosfos in here and there. Here we are. Tosfos quotes Rashi as saying, the chatzer koinelo. The chotzer is what does the trick. Why is my seller good? Meaning her seller. Her seller, her rock is her reshut. It's her domain. We all know that the domain is koina. Bob metzia daf yud. We all know. V'lo nehira. What's v'lo nehira? It's not clear. Says I'm not so clear about what my Zaidi is talking about. The imken, if so, my buy seller shel shnei mau. What do you mean? Are you trying to tell me that the seller belongs to both of them? Is a question of maybe yes, maybe no kinyan chotzer? Pshita deina koina. For sure she's not koina. Given the chotzer shel shneim. A chotzer belonging to 2 partners, and I'm not going to read the whole Tosfos now because it's a whole story of them. But Tosfos proves that before Shigmar that says If two partners, let's say the partners in a field, in a chotzer, in domain, in an apartment, in a gas station, they all shutfim in a chotzer, and one of them wants to sell the other one fruit. They're not partners in the fruit. I have fruit to sell my partner in an apartment. People co-share an apartment, right? I want to sell my flatmate who also owns the apartment with me. I want to sell him fruit. Can I just place it, plunk it in the chotzer, and say, now let's play as if it's yours? No, no, no. Says there's a clear Gemara that says no. If so, Rashi is very difficult. How can Rashi tell me the chotzer belongs to both of them? Is a question whether it's kin and chotzer or not. It's not a question of kin and chotzer. It's clearly not her chotzer if the one who's makne is a co-owner. End of the second to last line. We're skipping now to Tosfos, the second to last line in the page towards the end. Venira leforesh. Therefore, Tosfos says a different explanation. It's nothing to do with kin and chotzer, and so say other Rishonim. This is not about halachos of kin and chotzer. It's about, again, feminine human psychology. When the seller is completely hers, she feels secure. She feels, and she means to say, I rely, I know that this chotzer, not in din kin and chotzer. If she told him, put it here, she says, this is my place. She may not know the halach of kin and chotzer. Psychologically, she's so mechdas. Yes, she realizes, and she really is serious about the kinyan. This is my safe place. This is where I put all my stuff, all my, I don't know, dollies, makeup, clothes. That's my domain. Put it here. If it's a strange place, a seller in the street, she means to say, nothing to do with me, leave me alone. Oh, it's a psychology question. In other words, when she says, put it in the seller that we both own, it's not medin kin chotzer. She accepted it verbally. Put it here, and I'm asking him to be a wife, right? Maybe afterwards she'll take it in her hand. That's a technical thing. But when she says, put it in the chotzer, both of us, what is the message that she's sending him? Is she samich dat? Is she saying, listen, I'm 50% partner here, and therefore I feel safe and secure, and the message I'm giving you, yeah, put it in my place because it's also mine, or maybe not. Since it's also his, it didn't really move away from him, and she doesn't care about the Gemara and Bava Basra. She's not a Gemara student. She's talking mitzad emotions, yeah? Mitzad emotions, when it's both his and hers, didn't completely move into her place. So in her mind, she may be Mekudeshes, she may not be Mekudeshes. Her mind is what plays the role. A woman has to want to be Mekudeshes, otherwise she is not. And that's the explanation of Tesses. I don't have an answer for Rashi. Unfortunately, I'm sure there are many Achronim who answer back Rashi. I haven't seen them. Sorry. But this is Mechloket Rashi Tosfos, just that we should know. Okay. And the answer is Teku. A seller of both of them, it's a Teku. What happens in the case of Teku and Kiddushin? We all know. It's very easy. She's Sofek Mekudeshes, so would require a get Misofek. Right? If she wants out of it. If they want in, they have to do Kiddushin again. Maybe without a bracha, under the Sheva brachas, I don't know. But they need to do the Kiddushin again, or a get Misofek. Iskachili bekikar. Now he's asking, he's telling her, not with a money, be miskadosh to me with food, glorious food. Kikar, here is a loaf of bread, be miskadosh to me with the loaf of bread. And she told him, Tneo lekelev, she owns a dog. She lives in Ramat B'Shemesh Aleph, so she owns a dog. Tneo lekelev, she says, give it to my dog. Now, one would argue, no, that's not so simple. What? Tneo lekelev, okay, very nice. I jumped the gun. You're right, 100%. I stand corrected. The Shamnu Baganu Gazalnu. If she says, give it to a dog, the dog is not running after her, and the dog is not hers. Thank you for the correction. She says, give it to a dog, the neighbor's dog. Give it to a dog, some dog who's running around the streets all the time Friday night. Eina Mekudeshes. I will not say this online. Eina Mekudeshes. She's not Mekudeshes because she says, throw it to the dog. That's not her dog. It's a quite derogatory way of even saying it. Throw it to the dogs. However, and here comes what I wanted to say before. If the dog is hers, she's Mekudeshes. Yeah, why? She has to feed the dog, Lamaisa. Yeah, dog ownership is a big question in halacha, and we're not going to discuss it again. But Lamaisa, if a person owns a dog, whatever, because the therapist said that the child needs a dog, whatever, then what? And the kelev is hers. She owes the dog. She's responsible, and dog is reliant upon her. So if she says, give it to the dog, she's not trying to say, give it to my dog. She enjoyed it. She benefited from the fact. Now, yes, she saved, I don't know how much it costs, one loaf of dog food. So therefore, she's Mekudeshes. However, comes the question, Boy Rav Mari, comes Rav Mari with a question similar to that, also dog-related question. Kelev ratz achareho mau. Kelev ratz achareho says Rashi lenoishcho. A dog is running after her, yeah, in order to bite her. She's running away from a dog. The dog is chasing her, and in pursuit. And she told him, throw it to the dog, throw it to the dog. She wants him to throw, let's say, a piece of meat to the dog, so the dog should leave her alone. So what do we say then? On one hand, you can say, with the hano that he saved her life, right? Matzla nafsha minei, he saved her life minei from the dog. With that, she's masking to maknehim herself. I'll be yours. What a beautiful valiant story. This is mamish like in the stories. Yeah, he saved her from the dog, and then she became his wife, and they lived happily ever after, right? And they lived in a princess castle, right? So mimela what? The end. So that's in the hano with enjoyment. It's not her dog, but with the hano, it's worth money. She would pay people to be saved from the dog. Yeah, it's not worse than dance in front of me and play in front of me, right? As we said. Yeah, that's a hano, real hano. You'd pay people money to save you from the dog. With that hana, she's willing to give herself, makna herself to him. Oidilma, or maybe not. Matzi Amrale, she could tell him, thank you, Mr. Gannon. Thank you, Mr. Gentleman White in the shining armor. However, you mechuyev to save me. In other words, it's true that it costs money, and you gave me the money to save me. You have a chiyuv of loy tamdel dam recha. You mechuyev, if a girl is chased by a dog, you mechuyev to save her, right? The soldiers in the south, they do a big mitzvah, they save people from death. Yeah, and people who learn Torah, same thing. So then what? You mechuyev to save me. So it's not like you did such an extra service. You did what you had to do anyways. Memela, thank you very much, but it's not called like you didn't really profit me anything because you did the duty that every Jew has to do. That's a question. Soon we're going to elaborate on that. Teiku. We don't know how to interpret her words. Whatever she says afterwards is not always believed, yeah, unless she takes Kiddushin again. That's a different story. Right now, we're in a Teiku, so again, Sofa Kiddushin. Frekt the Achroinim. I'm not sure if it's Rabbi Akiva Eiger himself, the quote Rabbi Akiva Eiger, it's either Rabbi Akiva Eiger or people explaining him, I don't know. Maybe, but he's asking the following question, and that is, a person who saves his friend, yeah, at the end of the day, let's say you saved someone from death, yeah, or you saved someone's money from getting lost, yeah. Today's the title is Get Lost, yeah. So then, at the end of the day, after the dust settles, the one who was saved, the one who was salvaged and saved, owes money to the one who saved him. Yeah, let's say I ran away from terrorist law Leinu, and I threw tables and chairs on them. Yeah, let's say, or of a coffee shop, yeah, and they really died, Baruch Hashem, yeah, Imach Shimam. Now those tables and chairs, I have to pay back to the coffee shop owner. Matzil Atzma b'momen chavero owes him the money. So here too, they ask a question, even if he owes her, yeah, to save her, but the money doesn't owe her, he gave her money that she owes him, yeah. In other words, the dog was running after, chasing her, and now the guy gave him a piece of meat, I don't know, some kind of nice raw steak, and the dog ate it and left her alone. Oh, what a knight in the shining armor. But Lamaisa, what do you mean you owe it to me anyways, says the girl. He doesn't owe it to you. No, you have to give him back the 50 shekels of the steak. So Lamaisa, he did gain you something. He did profit you in a way. Answer the Achroinim, unbelievable. They say very nicely. No. Lamaisa, remember what we said at the beginning of this page? We said it even before. If I lend girl money, right, and then I moichel the choiv, and I say, okay, keep the money for yourself instead of returning it to me, and that was one undebatable point. That's for sure. Why? Because milva lo etzah need to know, right? In other words, when I give money to someone as a loan, yeah, they have to give me new money, not the same old money. So there's no kicha. There's no new money coming from the Mekadesh at the time of Kiddushin. Yeah, she's just keeping the money. She's not giving back her money. It's her money that stays in her pocket. If you really think of it deep, Mekadesh Milva is nothing. Very good. So that's Mekadesh Milva. He's mechuyev to give her what? To give her he's mechuyev to lend her the money. Because of the tamad al dam re'echo, you see the girl screaming frantically, and the dog's after her. you're supposed to throw, and you have to throw to shoot the dog or throw an expensive piece of meat at the dog if that's what you have. It's true later you'll take it back, but at the time when you gave it to the dog, it was a loan. So she has to give you back 50 shekels, 100 shekels after all said and done. When she's out of trauma, then she'll give it back to you. But Lemaisa, at the time when you threw it at the dog, it was just a loan. Very good. A loan, you're not Mekudeshes, or maybe not. Or maybe with the hano of the actual act. Oh, what a valiant person, what a gallant. Oh, he mamish saved her by doing the action. That hano, Lemaisa, something she would pay money for. She would pay Lemaisa. Yeah, so maybe it's called Kiddushin. Teku. That remains B'Teiku. Can I turn on the fan? Yeah? All fans of the fan? Okay. Maybe the next case will help you understand, because we're going to have a similar case now. We're going to compare the cases. He did not risk his life here. He did not risk his life. I'm recording and I'm saying here he did not risk his life. Very nice point. A person is not meant to risk his own life in order to save other Jews. It's nice maybe to do it. It's not nice, I don't know. But Lamais, at the end of the day, over here threw food at the dog, and the dog ate it, and that's what she was saying. This is something he's supposed to do. On one hand, you say that's your national duty, so thank you, but not Mikudeshes. You just lent, whatever. Or you say, no, I'm so grateful for you for saving my life. She interprets it that way in her feminine mind, and therefore she's Miskadeshes. That's a teiku. Okay, let's see the next case and then see if we still have questions. Next, please, is kachili bekikar. Be miskadish to me again with some food items, such as a loaf of bread. Tneu le'oni. She says, look, this poor guy over there in the street, the homeless, the one collecting money, give it to him. Eina mekudeshes. She's not mekudeshes. Why? Give it to the oni. It's not me. It's another guy in the street. I she's chiyuv tzedakah. Wait. Afilu onya somucholo. Let's say there's an oni who is reliant upon her. She's a very nice girl. She started the Chesed organization, and one of the ani that are reliant upon her is that Mr. Getzel Schmetzel. He is the oni who's relying on her. Oh, so maybe one could say, wait a second. She every day she spends 100 shekels to feed the oni. Now the chosan or wannabe chosan is giving her the 100 shekels. She says, give it to Getzel Schmetzel to get the 100 shekels, right? Oh, so she saved herself money as a benefactor, as a great donoress of that oni. So maybe now this is somebody reliant upon her, like a child. Let's say she has a child. Maybe then it's Kiddushin. Maybe, yeah, give it to me. And directly through giving to him, you're saving me money, like giving it to my dog. Giving it to my dog, she's Mekudeshes, we said. Oh, then, my time. Soon I'm standing on the soapbox. Prepare for a very strong Ashkofish moves coming soon. My time. And why is that? Omer Lay, she can tell non-verbally, she says, or she can say to the wannabe chosan, exclamation mark. What do you mean this oni is reliant upon me? Just like I'm mechuyev to give this oni 100 shekels, so to you mechuyev to give him 100 shekels. Let's say they live in I don't know where. They live in Elad. Yeah, I happen to be one of the women of Elad who are to give money to the oni. You happen not to be one of those who give money to the oni. Bad for you. You mechuyev to benfarnes the oni just as I am. He's not really more reliant upon me than upon you. He's reliant upon the shoulders of the community. I happen to be the nice girl who's actually helping the anim, but conceptually, I'm not mechuyev in feeding him more than you. My dog, I'm mechuyev to feed, and kol sheken my children. Let's say she's divorced, yeah, or a widow. If you give it to my child who's reliant upon me, that's the point. I'm mechuyev more than you. It's my family. But the oni in the street that nobody supports, you are not mechuyev less than me, and me, I'm not mechuyev more than you. When you come to think of it, happens to be that I'm the nice girl. I'm the nice Kupa Stalker girl who gives him money all the time. You're not really saving me money when it comes to the core. Before Memusha Shmuz, maybe that would help you with your question, I don't know. Ask the Rishonim, Ramban, I think Ran, I saw it in the Ran, and I think the Ramban before him says that. He's asking the following question. What's the difference between this and the case of being saved from the dog? In both cases, she claims you have a halachically. In other words, right? Beforehand, we said, thank you, Mr. Gallen, such a nice guy. But you know something? Anan Mekudeshes to you. It's such a tzad. Because you're really mechuyev to do this to me. You're mechuyev to save girls who run away hysterically from biting dogs, right? So you did your duty. There's no extra thing you gave me. And it's the same thing she says over here. You gave money to the oni. He's not my oni. is your oni as much as mine. You're mechai b'chiyuv tzedakah directly to the oni, and I'm stepping out of the picture. I'm not really connected here. What's the difference? Because there is a difference. Beforehand, we stayed in a teiku. Beforehand, we said, yeah, maybe she views it as his chiyuv, or maybe she is completely indebted, and she says, yes, I'll be yours. Here, we clearly say that she's not mekudeshes. What's the difference? Why over there she may be mekudeshes, and here she's not mekudeshes? Says the Ran. Interesting.
Or he wants to give it to a different army.
On condition.
In both, no, she didn't say condition both. She said the same thing. Give it to the dog or give it to. Here she said give it to the dog. You're saying very nice things. The Ran says something much simpler. Emotions, women, emotions. Pashut, in the case, I'm sorry, I'm online, yeah? But Lemaisa, but we all have emotions, men also. Lemaisa, yeah, the Ran does this because of women, yeah? Pashut, in the case when she was saved, she's really more grateful, and that's what the Gemara says. The Gemara says she's really indebted. Her life was saved, right? Her security, whatever. Her life was saved. So at the end of the day, although it may have been his chiyuv, she does feel great gratitude. When it's the oni, she's not so grateful. Oh, you've had Metzel Schmetzel. Okay, you saved 100 shekels, but it's not your life that was saved over here, your security or your safety. And therefore, in such a case, she's a little bit more cold and detached, and she says, listen, let's work with halachic chiyuvim. Halachically, I'm not mechuyev more than you. So at the end of the day, thank you for giving the oni. But when I said give it to the oni, you're right. She also said give it to the oni. I like what you said. She said here, give it to the oni. She means to say, give it to the oni. I'm fundraising now. I'm using you, Mr. Guy, who wants to, excuse my language, start with me. I'm using you that finally I'll coax some money out of you. I'm fundraising. You'll give money to the oni. But it's really your chiv as much as it's mine. There's no emotions here. Mashenk in there. Oh, you saved my life. Mimela, she's really much more into it and much more grateful. And as the Gemara says, I like what you said too, but these are divrei harishonim. Story time about what did the Gemara just say? I'll repeat what the Gemara says. Here's a girl who took, so to speak, sponsorship, over the oni. She's one responsible for the oni in town. However, when another guy, when she asks another person, give it to the oni, and he gave it, and he says, okay, are you now my wife? No, I'm not really more mechuyev than you are. Famous story by Rav Yossi Valis. Rav Yossi Valis was the head, is till 120, the head of Arachim. We all know that Arachim made a very, very, very big and strong impact. I would even say revolution in the Jewish world of Kiruv all over the world. I'm not working for Arachim to do them, and just as a regular Jew, I'm very impressed with Arachim, as well as with other Kiruv organizations, yeah, no competition. And he once came to a house of a very rich man in Canada. He keeps saying the names, so I guess the guy doesn't mind. I don't say names. He went to a house of a very rich, famous Jew in the beautiful country of Canada. And at the beginning, it was not the rich person's fault, but there was a very unpleasant, their meeting started on the left foot, and I'm not blaming anybody, neither does Ravalis, but he felt very cold and very like things were not really going the right way. And Ravalis, who was at the end of the day Israeli, got a little bit direct, and he told the guy, listen, there's absolutely no reason that I should take the flight. I should take care of all the chilonim in the world. I should take a flight. I should standing in the rain, in the cold, in the snow, wait for you, have everything cold, or whatever, the whole ordeal, and you should sit in your warm and nice armchair. There's absolutely no reason. The chiyuv of all these chilonim who are absolutely detached from Yiddishkeit is not really my chiyuv more than yours. Say thank you to me that I'm the one running around, but the chiyuv is just the same. So when people sit in their comfortable armchairs in London, Toronto, wherever, Johannesburg, Paris, London, New York, wherever, and I love these people, yeah, the chiyuv of people who run around asking for tzedakah for this, yeah, and I know it sometimes gets annoying, is not more, yeah, they don't have chiyuv more than the guy who sits in his comfortable armchair. The chiyuv is the same. And therefore, that should be the attitude of people who give tzedakah, say thank you to the person who is asking you for tzedakah, who is actually fundraising, is giving you the schus, and it shouldn't be looked at the other way around. And with that, we can continue. Thank you very much. Yes, got it off my chest. Ahu Gavra, there was a man, and I love them all. Ahu Gavra, there was a man, Davaka Mazbin Chumre. There was a man who was selling chumras. I'm joking. He was selling chumra petachta. he was selling necklaces of different explanation buttons. Yeah, there are many explanations. He was selling buttons on a chain, on a string. Yeah, like strings. Yeah, strings full of buttons. Yeah, you can buy some, you can buy whole, whatever. Okay, he was selling it. His idea is to sell it to anybody who comes and pays enough money. In came a woman to his store. Amarle, havli chad shoicha, give me one entire string, yeah, one tied round string, one kind of necklace full of buttons. Okay, please give it to me. She's talking as what? As a customer. Omar Lo, now he's starting. He has different ideas when he sees the girl. Yeah, I want to talk to his parents. Yeah. Omar Lo, yeah, he says to her, if I'll give you one of those, you'll be my wife. I'll give it to you for free. You'll become my wife. On relay, her response was interesting. Hava mi hava, give me. Twice, just give. Yeah. So the question is, what did she mean? Omar of Chama. Yeah. Now, first of all, again, she is not the one who initiated it. He initiated it, right? And she responded. And the original idea was business. She came to the store not to get married. She came to the store to buy something. He changed the conversation from business to romantics, right? And she says, give, twice. It's important she says it twice. Amar Rav Chama, says Rav Chama, Kol hava mi hava lav klumhu. When she says twice, give, all the Rishonim use the same word, mishata bay. She's mishata boy. It's like she says, give me a break, cut the nonsense, give. Yeah? She didn't say give once. That's a question. Just give. Like, leave me alone with the nonsense. Like I'm here to buy stuff and not to be your girlfriend or your wife. Like give. That's how we interpret her words as, especially she didn't say give and I'll be your wife. She didn't say that. Just give. That is to say, leave me alone. You're on the wrong track and I'm not in the mood. And no, I won't be a wife. I won't even go with you to the movies. Yeah, that's it. Now, so that is lav klumu. Now, another case. A man was sitting and drinking wine in a chanuta. Chanuta is not a regular shop in many places in the Gemara. Chanuta is like a bar, like a pub. People would sit there to drink the wine. Back then, I guess it was more respectable than today. He's sitting in the bar drinking the wine. Okay, in came a woman. Amrle, havli chad kasa, give me one cup, give me one glass of wine. Amrle, he told her, if I'll give you wine, she assumed it will be for money. If I'll give it to you for free, will it be my wife? Mikadeshesli? Amrle, ashkui ashkian. Tashke, give me to drink. Again, twice. Omar Rav Chama, the same Rav Chama again says, Kol ashkui ashkian lav klumu. When she repeated twice, she said, just give, it means, leave me alone, okay? I'm here to drink wine, not to be connected to you too much, yeah? Maybe after a few cups of wine, she'll agree, I don't know. But right now, all she wants is the wine, and we don't interpret the ashki twice as consent, but rather as get off my back. And a third case, which seem to be all the same. Ahu gavra davakashadi tamrai midikla. A man was throwing, meaning picking and throwing to the floor, tamri, from the dekel. Do you have to translate? Yes. Dates from the palm tree. I know you know. Yeah, he was throwing dates from the palm tree to the floor, like we have such cases in Shabbos. Asoya yitza. In came a woman to the palm tree area. Omra lay, she told him, Shadi litalti, throw me to, hey, yo, over there, hey, yo. Throw me two tmorim, two bunches of dates. Amar lo, ishadina li mekadesh li. If I throw them to you, will it be mekadesh me? He's turning the date picking into a date, different kind of date. Will it be mekudesh to me if I throw them to you? Amar le, she told him, shadi mishda, just throw. Amar Rav Zvi, same thing. Shadi mishda lav klumhu. Since she repeated it twice, we interpret that as she's not saying mishdi once, which is yes. She says yes, as mishdi, as leave me alone already. Everyone's asking the question, why do we have to repeat more or less the same in three different ways? Tosfos, look at Tosfos, the second Tosfos in the page. It says Tosfos. These three cases, and these are real life cases, the Gemara had to tell us all three cases. The b'shum dover ein moil. It doesn't help in any context. Whether it's food or drinks or other items such as buttons, it doesn't matter what it is. We always interpret her repeating the word twice as leave me alone, get lost, and look for a different friend, yeah, or a different wife, obviously. So I'm still asking you the question: why do we have to have the first two cases? Excuse me, the second and third case. Right, the first case, what? It was not food; it was a different item. Right. The second and third cases are foods and drinks. So what's the difference between food and drinks? I think the difference is, I think that in the first case, kach nearly, maybe I'm wrong. In the first case, she came what to buy? Just shoicha, to buy buttons, right? She came to buy buttons, and he's just selling buttons, right? That's very businesslike. It's a 100% business environment, right? Yeah, when you buy yogurt and McCall, it's a business deal, right? Not only when you sell a house. So now she came here to do business. And obviously, when he's suggesting something else and she says, give, she says, stop driving me crazy. I'm not here to start, as we said, the postuk mufusha postuk, don't mix business and pleasure. I'm not here for that. Talk to you after work. Yeah. So therefore, it's no. Now, when he's sitting in the bar and he's drinking, and she's saying, give me to drink too, the setting is different, right? Right? In other words, maybe she wanted to buy the drinks, but he's also drinking. He's drinking, and she wants to drink with him. Yeah, maybe with money. That's different. Maybe there at the beginning on her side was already a little bit, the environment was more into Kiddushin because he's drinking, she wants to share the drink. That's different. Maybe then I would say, if she says drink, she means yes, let's party together, be Kaddish to you. And the third case is, again, I think, combination of the two. It's food, which is Mekar v'Salavovois. But it's also selling something. So somewhere in between. That's my idea. Take it or leave it. I'm developing it on top of Toisvis. Give me one more, and then a list, and I promise it will be soon time for questions. Now, Iboilu, there is a question. Have Ashki v'shadi mahu. Let's say she said once, give me the string with the buttons. Once she said, give me to drink. And once she said, throw me the tmorim. She didn't say it twice. Repeating twice is that she's saying something from her own accord, and she repeats it to say, just give it. Give. Don't talk nonsense. But if he says, if I give it to you, will you marry me? And she says, give, that's somewhere in between. Is she saying, yes? It's like saying, yes, I do. I'm responding to your request without adding another impatient give, just one give, or maybe not. Maybe when she says give, she didn't say give, yes, I love you, give, yes, I do, forever and ever. She just said give. And she still means, her original idea was just to buy food. Now, how do you interpret the one-time give? Again, is it responding, yes, give. I'm responding to you. I'm saying omein to your idea, mikudeshes. Maybe she still says, no, give. My original idea when I came to the store or to the pumpkin area is just to get something, not to marry you. Oh, so what's a pshat? Big machloikes. Oma avina mikudeshes. Avina says mikudeshes. If she says it once, we interpret her mikudeshes, her give as one-time give, as yes, I'm following your game. I'm following your tune. Rav Sama Barakta Omar, Rav Sama Barakta says, listen to this. Taga de Malka, I swear by the king's crown. Wow. I swear by the king's crown, ain't Mekudeshes. She's not Mekudeshes. As long as she didn't say, yes, I do, she says, give. And her original idea, when she started again, as opposed to all the other cases, she came to do business. He's starting to change the rules over here to talk about marriage. Whoever spoke to you about marriage. So even if she said once, give Eine Mekudeshes, the Ilchasa Eine Mekudeshes. Halach is she's not Mekudeshes. Wow. Not Mekudeshes. As far as I can see so far, not even a suffix. Not Mekudeshes. He's starting to talk shpiyot about marriage. As long as she didn't say yes, as long as she didn't clearly change gears from business to Kiddushin, she's not Mekudeshes. A little bit more. The Ilchasa and Mekudeshes. Now the Gemara is going to summarize the halachos, but very, very quickly, of three other sugyas we had before. The Hilchasa Shiroi lo tzrich hishuma. We're going to elaborate on that after the next question session. Shiroi lo tzrich hishuma. Remember Shiroi? Shiroi are nice clothes or nice jewelry that are not super expensive, nice and elegant. They don't need shuma. In other words, a girl was told, like Rabba, who argued on Rav Yosef. Rabba says, if a girl is told, "Eret mekudeshes to be shiroim," stam, without mentioning any number, any there's machlokas, Rabbi and Rebbe stam, without stam, lichoira, even if money was mentioned, shuma, even though it was not evaluated before she was given the shiroim, we assume that she's okay with whatever the shiroim are worth, yeah, whatever the value is, she's okay with that. She's mekudeshes. It's a poster of Yosef that said you always have to evaluate it before to avoid misunderstandings. As long as it's shiroim and not something super expensive like diamonds, and she accepted it, we assume she's okay with whatever it costs. Yeah, and she trusts him. And even if there's margin of error, it's not a big margin of error. Halacha is like Reb Lezer who said what? He said, Reb Lezer said before, if a man, remember, if he says, with a whole 100,000, and he gave her only $1,000, he gave her $100, she's mukudeshes straight away. The other 900 will give her later. Get now, pay later. He did not count the money. He didn't say zu. He just says, mekudesh b'moneh, any money, I'll give it to you later. She's right now mekudeshes. Halacha is like Rova Barav Nachman, and that is Mona Enkan Mashkon Enkan. Remember, if a person says to a girl, I'm going to be Mekadesh you with 100 shekels, wow, 200 shekels, and here's the 200 shekels collateral, no Kiddushin. Why? He did not give her the 200 shekels, but she has in her hands, yeah, as opposed to Baal Choiv, he's not a Baal Choiv, he gave to her hands a promise, a strong promise, a very, very strong promise that he will give her the 200. It's just a promise. Promises he can't rely on. Look at the elections. Yeah, I don't want to talk about politics. It's wartime, yeah? So Lamaisa, no, there's no money, no mashka, no nothing. She's not mekudeshes, and that's halacha. There is more something else to see in Tosfos, but let's first see let's hear the questions. Yes, you've been very patient. Basically, what Tosfos says is what I told already before. Tosfos asks the question, why do you have to say by Shiroim, we don't need to assess it in advance? It's Rabba against Rav Yosef. The halacha is always Rabba against Rav Yosef. Halacha is like Rabba. So why does the Gemara have to say it? Answers Tosfos, because here actually there's one exception to the rule. Halacha is not like Rabba, and that is if it's a very expensive item. Let's say he's giving a piece of jewelry with diamonds on it. That's not Shiroi, that's Shiroi Deluxe. It's Shiroi 5 stars, Shiroi on steroids. It's more than Shiroi. And such a thing, the margin of error can be huge. People don't understand in diamonds. Yeah, she thinks it's some $1 million diamond. It could be a fake thing, right? And therefore, she sees diamond, she's already, the wheels in her mind begin to think money and value, and therefore the minig is not to be Mekadesh, says Tosfos, follow another Rishon and follow the Shulchan Aruch. Next time, when people are Mekadesh, she should not be Mekadesh with any diamonds or any fancy thing, just simple ring. So she's not beginning to fantasize about big money. And even if she thinks it's 100, it's really 150, she's not in for the money of a simple ring, and therefore it should be kept simple. And that's the halacha. Hatzlacha uvracha. Thank you very much. Remember, daf tes. Remember daf tes? Daf tes is tabat. That's what Tosfos tells you, that tabas has to be simple. Here, Tosfos says, Rabbeinu Tam says that we're Mekadesh not with a tabas, which is fancy. Yeah, that's the reason. Okay, very, very good. Lefikach nogu ha'olam lekadesh betabas she'ein ba'even. You see, Tosfos says right. Mina golim is to be Mekadesh with tabas that has no stone in it. Just regular plain tabas without any, ideas that may come along with it. Atzlacha uvracha, may we see the Geula very soon and sharpen the swords of Torah. Atzlacha uvracha, have a good day and a very, very good week. And may all the Shvuim come back home very quickly. Thank you very much.